Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. So I wanted to do a video today. I was just out on the street taking my daughter around selling some Girl Scout cookies. Actually, she was selling the cookies. I don't even participate at all. I let her do it totally on her own. This is her first year. She's 5 years old. She's selling cookies. We live on some busy streets where there's a bunch of bars and stuff, and she just walks up and down and sells cookies. But I thought I'd do a video talking about what I've actually learned about sales from watching her sell cookies, like just the natural ability that she has, because she doesn't have that intimidation factor. She doesn't have that apprehension, right? And part of it is just because of the way that we've raised her with, she is homeschooled. We've sort of exposed her to a lot of things and let her really see the world for the most part. She's traveled with us and all kinds of things like that. So I want to talk about this because I think this is really, really interesting because, and here's something that was interesting I just find this whole thing fascinating, right? I really don't like the whole selling Girl Scout cookies thing because the kids don't actually get any money. So it's like, I feel like they should be getting some money for the effort that they're doing. That's how entrepreneurship works. So it's kind of taking advantage of the girls, I think, to be honest with you. And it's, but it's such a good experience for her to go and sell things and to go and ask people and face rejection and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, so I basically say, all right, and, go ahead, go do it, have fun, and I'll take you around, because I think that's a valuable lesson. So, and that's a good example. I mean, there's so many things to think about here, so many things to unpack here. One of them just being that sometimes you go for the higher principle, right? I really don't like the Girl Scout thing. I really don't like the way that they're selling these cookies and they're very highly marked up, and that they basically it doesn't really go to the girls themselves. They should be getting something for it, not some silly rewards. They should actually be getting like $1 for each cookie they sell or each box they sell. But the higher principle is that I like the idea of selling something, of going out as an entrepreneur and actually like doing sales, right? I mean, maybe it's not a purely entrepreneurial thing, but taking initiative. And so I think if I can have my daughter be doing that, if she's interested and wants to do that, I think that's a higher principle. It's worth it to me. So I'm willing to support her in that, even though I'm not a big fan of the whole thing. So, I mean, I think that's a good lesson in itself, is just to realize that sometimes, I mean, I think some people can cut off their nose to spite their face, and they don't recognize that sometimes you're going to have a conflict between two values or two principles, and you got to pick the higher one. What is the more beneficial or valuable one? There's a lot of times everything isn't just black and white, and you can't just shut out things that you don't agree with. Sometimes you got to see and say, well, is there actually a better thing here, right? Sometimes your friend is your enemy's enemy, right? You're friends with someone because they're your enemy's enemy. And it's that kind of thinking, making those kind of choices. But that's not what I really want to talk about today. I want to talk about what I've learned. So in taking her out, when she started doing this, selling the Girl Scout cookies, I thought that I was going to teach her some things about selling, right? Because I'm pretty decent at selling. I've got some sales experience. I know how to sell things, how to overcome objections, and how to do that kind of thing and talk to people. I'm not afraid to talk to people. But what I found, which is quite interesting, is that she's better at it than I am, that I had a lot to learn from her, right? Really, honestly, I mean, obviously there's some things that I know that she doesn't know, but majority, right? I would honestly say that she's just more successful at selling because she's got more gumption. She's more ambitious about it. And I want to go over some of the things that I learned, because I think this is it was such a great lesson watching her do this. And I pretty much let her do it on her own. I took her to doors. She knocked on the doors. She sold them. She makes the change. She does all the stuff, right? She's 5. So it's been pretty good experience for her. So the first thing that I learned, okay, is that you don't know who's going to buy and who's not going to buy. So we would walk down the street and I would sort of kind of prejudge people and be like, oh yeah, that guy doesn't look like he has any money. He's not going to buy anything, right? Or I'd look at some other guy and I'd be like, oh, that fat guy, he's going to buy cookies. He's obviously going to buy cookies. And I was dead wrong, right? So there was a lot of people that I wouldn't have asked. So I'm like, oh, why is she asking that guy? And then bam, that person buys like 3 boxes of cookies, or they buy cookies, or they're surprisingly they've got the money and they're gonna shell it out. Whereas a lot of people that I just assume, oh, this person's definitely gonna buy cookies, right? And they didn't buy any cookies. So that's number one, is that you don't know who's going to buy. So you should ask everyone because you don't know. You can't prejudge. And so I think this is really important. And I'll give you kind of two levels of this. One, for if you're selling something, just ask everyone. Don't prejudge. Don't assume that certain people aren't going to buy, right? Just give them the opportunity. Ask for the sale. Always ask for the sale. You don't know. And two, for you guys out there, again, I've done some videos. You can check out the videos on the guy videos, as I like to call them. But if you're talking to girls, right? If you just start asking everyone, just start talking to every single girl that you're even remotely interested in, and you're gonna score sometimes. You're gonna, I don't mean, well, sometimes you might score, but you're gonna get some wins that you didn't think you're gonna get, right? Just approach people, right? They'll be surprised you. Some of the ones that you think that wouldn't give you the time of day, they're gonna be interested, and some of the ones that you think would be easy are not going to be easy, right? It's gonna be harder. So just a tip there. I think this, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but it occurred to me that this is, so there's valuable lessons in life here, right? So you can apply this however you want, but just know that you can't know who's going to buy, who's going to be your customer or not, whatever you're selling, right? You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so that's number one. Okay, the number two thing that I noticed that she would do is she would chase down people that were walking in front of her, right? That it looked like they're too far. They've already passed. The opportunity's already passed. But she runs up, gets in front of them, and asks, "Would you like to buy some cookies?" Right? So that's pretty damn cool, I think. And I expected, oh, that's not going to work. They've already passed. You're running up. You're like, saying, "Excuse me," but they buy cookies. That's one of the most successful things. They see, in fact, several times people commented and said, "Wow, with that kind of tenacity, of course I'm going to buy cookies." And that's awesome. So have that tenacity, go, and when you think that it's too late, go and chase after people if you need to make the sale. Don't be afraid to do that. Like, don't worry, it hasn't passed yet. You go for it, right? And I would have probably just let those people go and went for new opportunities, but no, she went after those people because it was instinctual for her to do that. It made sense. Okay, so that's number two. The third one is that, and this was amazing, I thought as well, is immediately overcoming people's objections, right? Immediately, even when you don't think it's going to work, right? So there was plenty of times where someone said, "I don't have any money," and her immediate answer is, "We take credit cards," because the Girl Scouts they have an iPhone app now. You can take credit cards. It's really annoying. It doesn't work very well, but it works, right? And so she would retort that immediately. As soon as someone said, "I don't have any money," "That's okay, we take credit cards." Bam. It shuts them down so fast. Because she said it so fast, because she was just responded so matter-of-factly, right? Not assuming that they're going to reject her, just assuming that they're being honest, that they don't have money. A lot of times they did have money. 75% of the time that she says we take credit cards, she gets the sale. Sometimes they magically have money, and sometimes they pull out the credit card and she processes the credit card, and there you go. So that's another one, is like overcoming objections quickly and right away. So, someone makes some kind of an excuse. I think what can happen a lot of times is we know when someone's making an excuse. She doesn't know that, so she just responds. So if someone tells you, "Oh, I don't have time," oh, well, you could respond to that. Or, again, you guys out there, like, you get rejected at a very face value, like, "Oh, I'm busy right now," or, whatever it is, like, "Oh yeah, I'm busy Tuesday night. Okay, how about Wednesday night?" You know what I mean? Like, have that kind of tenacity. Like, that it occurred to me, like, yeah, go ahead. As soon as someone says no, then give them the answer, give them the response, overcome that objection right away without hesitation, and assume that they're being honest and you're being honest, and you're more likely to get the sale. You're more likely to close the deal. That was a pretty good lesson, which, I didn't realize how powerful it is. I think I've known as a salesperson, right, to overcome objections, but not immediately. Like, I don't think I would have, because I didn't think that would work, right? I did not think that people would, when she says, "Okay, we take credit cards," that they would suddenly buy, but they did, right? It worked. So amazing, right? Okay. Then the next one that I noticed is that when she goes to sell cookies, okay, when she asks someone, she says, "Excuse me, would you like to buy some cookies?" And she's jumping up and down, right? And she's grabbing the paper that shows the cookies, or she's opening up the cookie box, the little tote that she carries, and showing the cookies. Immediately, she's basically doing two things there. One, she's approaching with enthusiasm. She's excited about the sale. She's like, "Wow, would you like to buy some cookies?" Right? "I want to sell you some cookies." That enthusiasm works really well. She had a high close rate, and she's assuming she's got the sale already. She's already thinking she's already got the sale. She doesn't assume that they're going to reject her or that they're going to tell her no, like most people do. Like I think I would in a lot of situations. She assumes they're going to buy. Why wouldn't you want to buy my cookies? Here they are right here. I'm showing you the cookies, right? I'm already pulling them out to show you the cookies. So that was another thing. And also with that, I'll kind of combine this one, is that she's already like handing them the box or handing them the thing, right? She's helping to facilitate the transaction, moving it forward very, very quickly and rapidly. So I think that's probably all the ones I can think of now. There's probably some other ones that I could think of, some kind of minor nuances that she's done, but it's been really interesting. It's just been to observe this and to see how I would have do things. Because the thing why I'm learning so much from this experience is because I'm not coaching her. I'm not doing it. I'm letting her do it. I'm giving her very minimal coaching, and she's doing it, and I'm observing what she's doing, and I'm thinking, I wouldn't do that. But then she's successful at it. Now, she is 5, she's cute. Okay, I'm sure that there's some factor there. But honestly, that it's a lot of the things that she's doing, the way that she's doing it, and it's very interesting that I'm able to observe this because I'm not interfering. I'm letting her go, and she's got that natural ability to do it. And by observing that, I'm learning a lot from it. So I think it's a pretty good experience for me. I thought it was going to be an educational experience for her, and I'm sure it is, right? I mean, she's getting some value out of this, facing rejection when people do say no, going up and talking to people and asking for the sale and learning what works. She's adapting, and learning what actually works. One time, I think someone, she knocked on the door and they said, we're traveling, we're getting on an airplane tomorrow, so we can't really buy any cookies. And she said, "Well, excuse me, did you consider that you might want to have a snack on the airplane? And these cookies would be a great snack." She tells people what her favorites are, which is also a good sales technique. Like, she's got a lot of these things that she's sort of adapting naturally. She's not trying to be a good salesperson, but she's just seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I think that's another critical skill, especially, again, I'll address you guys out there, are you testing to see what works and what doesn't work? Are you assuming you're going to get the sale? Are you doing some of these things, for whether you're a guy that has social anxiety, trying to, talk to girls? If you've got, I know a lot of you, I say that because a lot of you email me and tell me you have these problems. So I'm telling you, like, learn from the Girl Scouts. There you go, right there. Or if you're just a salesperson, if you need to sell, everyone needs to market and sell. There's some really good techniques here that work, that naturally work. So observe, see what happens. All right, that's all I got for this video. I hope you like this. This has been really interesting. I've been pretty excited to do this because I'm learning a lot. It's pretty damn interesting. Like, I'm gonna definitely incorporate some of these things, especially the enthusiasm and assuming you got the sale, assuming that people want to buy ahead of time, assuming that you're going to get it. That, I think, that is those are the two key things that I'm taking away from this, is to do that, and I really think that it's going to benefit me. So hopefully this benefited you. If you like this video, if you want to get more videos like this one, it's real easy. All you got to do, and I know you're gonna do it, is click that subscribe button, because why the heck would you not? I mean, damn, click the subscribe button already. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Take care.